Thanks for joining, everyone. I reopened the AMA questions channel. Check the permissions on that one more time. I think everyone from Hero Candidate on up should be able to send a message in there. So let's try to keep it to specific messages. Sorry, specific questions as opposed to chit chat back and forth. So so if you got a very specific question or comment or suggestion, you could put it in there. But let's not go back and forth and get chat going. So I've got my co-founder here, Exabyte. I think see if I need to let him on the stage. Oh, they're already up there.
Hi. Hello. Thank you, everybody. All right. All right. Yes.
We got Tired of Ballin here. He's
All
our
right. Superstar mod.
moderator. See if anybody wants to come up. Doesn't have to, but we appreciate everyone showing up. We're going to give a couple more minutes and let people filter into the room. As most of you are aware, we launched the game last night. It was kind of a soft launch. At first, we had some people trickling in who just had the URL, and we had a couple of rounds of server issues that we had to deal with. And I think our engineering team seems to have cleared up just about everything, and it's running smoothly now. People were really frustrated earlier today when America started waking up and discovering that the game was online and getting on. And I know that it was really laggy. It was never completely down, but a lot of pages were not loading properly, and buttons weren't responding, and people were making mistakes because they were clicking buttons multiple times and not seeing a reaction to it. But as far as I can tell, it's looking really smooth now. And things are coming in pretty fast. So let's hope it stays that way.
It will. I fixed it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's the
I'm
power of
so
engineering.
sorry. Yeah. I am so sorry that it was having problems. It hurt me. It just really hurt my pride that it was not working. So to everybody that was playing, man, I can't even believe people were playing. Like how like it was just really bad. The state of the game, the state of the responsiveness was not a fun experience, and that just really hurt me on a personal level. But pulled some tricks out of my hat and called on some favors from some superstar tech people, and got it working now. So yeah, that was just I just got try to deliver quality, and that one took a day, but the quality's there now.
So we want to make some announcements today, and I'm going to wait until the room gets pretty full until we do that, and people are still hopping in. So we want to thank you for joining us, and I hope most of you have tried the game. If you haven't, give it a try. We think it's fun, and I'm going to go down here and actually just start off before we excuse me, before we make any announcements. I'm going to just we'll just start answering some nuts and bolts questions that are coming in. So common question: how do I merge my NFTs to Infungibles, and how does the game work? How do I select a team? So sounds like somebody who hasn't come into the game yet. So it's really easy. You just go to the game URL. It's infungibles.io, and you will log in with the Solana wallet that has your Infungible in it, and the game will see your Infungible, and it'll ask you to register it, and you give us permission to basically bring you into the game with your wallet. And at that point, if you have any other NFTs in that same wallet, it'll basically show you on a platform, and you'll be able to choose to populate your Infungible mecha with any other NFT in place of that superhero, and then you can save it and just go into the game. Now, as far as selecting a team, you don't have to be on a team. They're for camaraderie, and later on we're going to have We call them leagues, and we're gonna have league wars. So wait till you get through the tutorial and level up a little bit, maybe get up to level 2, 3, and then if you go to the home button on the sub menu, you'll see, is it league recruiting, I think?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of teams there. You can actually create your own league, or you can look at some of the others that are out there. We've already got a bunch of leagues formed. Some of them are
Hmm.
surrounding, like all of them are in the same NFT. I'm seeing a few. The Dino Dogs have a huge one already. The Undead Souls have a big one. Probably some others. There's one that they call themselves Stoned Apes, and they actually may be all Stoned Apes, but they're using different NFTs. I assume because like 98% of all Stoned Apes are staked. So if your NFT is staked, you can't come into the game. But that's a little bit of info about that. Um, so
I
looks
should
like we're about
probably
2 weeks.
raise the maximum size on leagues. It's set to be you can't have more than 12 players in the same league at a time. But you know what? There's at the moment the way the mechanics are right now, there's no reason that couldn't raise. I'm gonna just make a note to myself to move that up to like 20 or so.
Okay.
Taking some notes.
So this person asks, how do I switch powers in the training menu? Um, so once you have a power, we have powers and we have items. Once you have a power, you that basically becomes part of your stack of points. That's adding to your attack, defense, and movement points. And the training menu allows you to level those up. So for some, you spend some in-game currency, you can take a particular power, and you can have like an unlimited number of each one as well. You can take a particular power and you can level it up, and each time you level it up, the points that it gives you increase. So you don't need to switch those. Those are sort of all applicable to you. I think I have this right, Exabyte, right?
I was muted. Yep.
Okay. So you don't need to switch them around. Those are basically part of your arsenal. They will affect the ones you are using will affect the animations that you see in the battle, but the battles are really based more on the total points that they give you. So you don't have to like swap them out to use different ones. What you can swap out before you go into battle is your equipable items. And you all are at fairly low levels because we have a level cap in the game right now, level 5. So you don't have a lot of slots. It starts out with the ring slot. I think you had an option to buy some boots, but there's no place to put them on yet. But you will have that soon. Those things can be swapped in and out and changed before the battle if you want. Another question here. We got 86 in the room, and it seems to be plateauing. So we'll make it some announcements after this. Um, if I send my NFT to another wallet, will any stats, XP, and powers stay with the Infungible? And the answer to that is yes.
Yep.
Even if it goes to another wallet, if that wallet then logs into the game will recognize that particular NFT, and that NFT will come in at the exact same spot that it left off in the game. Correct, Exabyte?
Yeah, absolutely. The only one thing that it won't do is anything that's attached to your picture. So if you've got your little pet mech, your sidekick, if that's not in the same wallet, if that doesn't also transfer, then you can't use that anymore.
Right. And of course, any NFT that you put inside it to pilot it, that can't go with it. So it'll just go
Right.
back to its default state. Um, let's see. This person asks, there are messages in the game when you level up. It says you get +2 skill points, but we're only getting +1 skill point. Exabyte, take that. I think it goes every
Yeah.
other level.
So I think that's explained somewhere. It's kind of buried in there. You do get 2 skill points, but up to a certain level, one of those skill points is automatically applied to energy every level. So yeah, you get 2 skill points, but one of them is automatically applied to energy.
And then once you get past that
That's
level,
just
and
up
it's
to a
not too,
certain level. Yeah, that's just for new
yeah,
players. We really tried to design the game to kind of, a lot of people are confused. There's some things about the game that are confusing, and we tried to make it as straightforward as possible. But it's also a very rich and very complex game, and there's a lot of things that just don't unlock until higher levels. There's things that just unfold as you level up, and we didn't want players coming in brand new and just blowing all their skill points on something other than energy. Um, when they didn't even know how to play the game. So we kind of hold your hand a little bit up until about level I don't remember. I think it's level 10 or something. You're able to just spend all your skill points any way you want. But at all the lower levels, 1 point goes to energy, and then the other point you can put wherever you want.
So, and we should say, and this isn't, a lot of people are missing this. Right now we have a level cap at level 5. We have like many, many, many levels of content after that. But Exabyte and his team are just like they're in the process of doing all the math to balance things out, um, to make sure that things don't get too out of whack or unfair at higher levels. Because we added the mechas, we added the mecha bonuses, we added some different points things, and those things can amplify at higher levels and throw things out of whack. So they're still in the process of working with spreadsheets to make things fair at higher levels. So we will be like increasing that cap little by little, probably on a very regular, maybe almost daily basis. You'll be able to keep going up 2 levels. We just didn't want some people staying up all night and running really, really high up and getting too far ahead of everybody else, and that before we made sure that it was all balanced. So we
Yeah,
it's like
and it's not just balance. I mean, it's mostly balance, but also, like you were just saying, we don't want one person just because they were online on the day that we launched and they just, took off, stayed up all night, they played 24 hours, now no one can ever catch them. It's not that kind of game. This isn't a first-person shooter. This isn't a game that's just designed to be spend, 12 hours a day just sitting in front of your screen playing it nonstop. It's something you can check in on, a few times a day. It's definitely something you're going to want to play regularly, but you don't need to grind as hard. We're trying to make something that's fun, but not quite so grindy. So we want to make sure that people can be competitive. If they're only playing for a few minutes a day or a few minutes a few times a day, then you could stay competitive and not have to worry about just somebody who just doesn't have anything. They're just playing nonstop. They're just going to hit that level cap, and then they're going to have to wait for the more regular players, and keep it a little bit more even.
okay. So we've been on now for close to 15 minutes, and we've got almost 100 people in the room. I'm going to take this next question and I'm going to address it, and then we're going to talk about a couple of things that we've got upcoming that we think is gonna help with this. So this person simply asks, "Why is floor price so low?" And we don't know entirely. The weird thing about this project is that we minted and sold out extremely quickly, and the very first people who listed it at 0.49. Those are the very first Magic Eden posts, and I didn't know why. There was absolutely no, immediately it came out, and people were kind of trying to. They call this shaking the tree, where they try to get people to kind of panic and get rid of rares really fast. And stepping away now, we're a couple of days in. We have been doing everything that we promised to do. We released the game on time. We we've been really working hard to like deliver everything that we've told everybody we were going to do. But there's probably a few reasons why it's low. I think a lot of people only found out about this project at the very end, and they didn't spend any time in our previous AMAs. They maybe didn't look at the website. We explained in great detail sort of exactly what we got here with this game. We explained to people that we weren't doing we weren't minting a coin. We were just giving away soul to the leaderboard. But a lot of people are kind of disappointed now when they're coming in and seeing the game, and I get that. People ape into something at the end, and that happened to us. And so we sold out the mint quickly, and we were so optimistic. And I think a lot of the people were flippers, and they realized it wasn't going to go up, and so they got rid of theirs quickly. And then I think, in addition, when the game launched, the game's not for everyone, and some people probably saw it and didn't like it. It's a retro, old school RPG, and it's got a lot of numbers in it, and that kind of thing. And so, it's not a really super casual game in that way, and you can only play it on a desktop right now. That'll change later, but I think people were dumping them because of that. There's a third reason. I think there's a perception that the commons are worthless in the game. One of the things about our floor price is that the floor price is actually quite a bit lower than our average price. The average price floor price difference is bigger in this NFT than just about any I've seen. So people are still spending money on um, rarer ones, but the commons people think that they're not useful in the game. So I think a lot of people are just trying to get rid of them for nothing there. So, and I mean, maybe bigger picture, maybe we overestimated the demand for this type of a game, and we set the supply too high. There was a lot of hype about it, and so it sold out quickly, but maybe there really just aren't enough people who really want to play this kind of a game to support a higher price. So, because of that, we've been talking a lot about building in some mechanisms to fix this. And this is the great thing about a game is that you can you can pull some of these off the market in ways that are actually fun and strategic. So, Exabyte and I have been talking, and we have an idea. So, and we think this is going to work well. So, you've all seen, if you've played the game much, you're probably wondering what these morphon particles are. They're mentioned in the very first comic book panel, or the second one, I think. And then you see that you have a balance of them. You see yourself winning them, but you're not sure how to spend them. So, I'll tell you how you spend them in the game. The morphon particles are like the most premium in-game currency. And if you notice, you have these powers, and as you go through the game, you'll get more and more bucks, and you'll be able to buy quite a few of these things. But they have an upkeep that goes along with them. And you have a job, and you can upgrade your job, and you can make more. Like every certain number of levels, you are able to get a job that pays more, and that allows you to get um, higher level powers that have more points attached to them, and then you can level those up, and then your job upgrades again, and you qualify to get some even more powerful powers. So you've got to sell off the old ones and buy some more powerful ones. You're having to sell them because you only have so much upkeep like that you can manage, right? So you this each power like is taxing, basically, literally taxing. And you have a job, and you got to balance those two out. So there are premium powers that have no upkeep. And they actually have a lot more points attached to them as well. And you can only buy those with morphons, and morphons are scarce. And you're going to be scrambling for them. And the morphon powers, there's also equipable items that are morphon based as well. Those are going to be hard to come by. And we are working on a mechanism right now where you're going to be able, if you have an extra hero, or sorry, an extra mecha, you're going to be able to put them into a chamber, and there'll be a certain number of slots. Maybe envision giant vials of liquid, or like decompression chambers where they'll lie down. We're not sure what the art's going to look like, but you're basically going to be able to stake some of your extra heroes with us, lock them up in these chambers, and you will sap their energy, and they will produce more funds for you. So we believe that this is a mechanism that will allow serious players to take some of these commons off the market and put them to use as almost like a utility token in the game. They've gotten so cheap at this point, and that will allow you to use those morphons to strengthen your main character or characters. Now you can only lock them up for one mecha at a time, and you'll want to leave one out also from staking if you want to have that as your sidekick, which I would recommend. Um, but remember, you can also play more than one character at a time in the game. We have some people playing quite a few actually in the current tournament. You just have to log out and log back in. That's a lot of work. You'd have to have a lot of time in the day, but it is kind of unlimited, the extent to which you can play that way. So this is just one. We've got another one we're not ready to talk about yet. That would
Anyway, yeah, just to
involve.
sum up, just to sum up. Sorry, but yeah,
Okay.
playing the game, you'll see there's MPs, there's morphon particles. They're really powerful. There's a lot of bonuses. There's stuff that hasn't even been revealed yet, but morphons are really make you strong. You're gonna want them, and once we get these new features out, you'll be able to get them by staking.
Right. That's it's as simple as that. So we hope that that's going to take some off the marketplace, and on our part, we're juggling, like we have three different things we want to get out. We have hero renting, we have updating of the metadata remotely, and also fixing that spelling error at the same time, and then we have
Hmm.
this and this staking mechanism, and we think we promised staking mechanism in quarter one. I think we're going to do these other two things first before that, before we do
You mean
the
we
rent a
promised
mecha.
renting in quarter one? We promised renting in quarter one.
Sorry, yeah, we promised renting in quarter one. I misspoke there. We don't think at the current floor price that renting is going to be all that popular of a feature. They're so cheap right now. People can just buy their own. So that's
Well, we're
something
gonna
we're
do
gonna
it.
like.
I mean, we can do it in quarter one.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be hard. We'll have it out, but it's gonna be it'll be in March, not
Mhm.
February. Still Q1,
Yeah.
but we're gonna prioritize
Perfect.
staking. Okay, I think we've made the
Yeah,
point.
we're going to prioritize staking to try to try to pull some of these off the marketplace and put them to use for people who really are serious about playing the games. Another announcement I want to make: we're going to so we have we have a fair chunk of Solana in the community wallet, the game community wallet, and we only set prizes. I don't know how much we have in there, 6 or 7 soul. I don't know how much it kind of depends on how many people play because we're giving away a little bit of soul at every 100 spots on the leaderboard. And we probably set that a little low, and we set expectations too high on the last demo tournament. We gave away almost 30, I think, in that one, and that just came out of our own pockets. We just wanted to like create a big splash when we went out the gate. With the game wallet, we were trying to be really conservative and saying, royalties are going to go down over time as fewer of these are swapping out. So we want to preserve some. So we're going to try to like smooth that out and offer smaller rewards to more people at different spots on the leaderboard. So you don't have to think you're going to have to grind up, 1,500 spots just to get it. And then in the future, we're going to have different types of tournaments. It won't all be for like the most powerful people in the game. People will be able to, get into tournaments more at people at their strength level. And in addition, there's going to be some other mechanisms coming where we will randomly drop a little bit of soul into certain patrols, things like that. There'll be other ways in the game that you'll be able to get usually modest amounts, but still enough to make it fun with other ways, as opposed to like working way all the way up to the front of a massive, huge leaderboard with much stronger people on it. And one final thing, I'll just say that these commons, they may seem a lot worse this early on in the game, but you can build a common up to be like a real badass later on. It's just going to take a while, and the relative strength of them is not going to be strength or weakness of them that you see in the first few levels is not going to be quite as stark later in the game. And if you do a good build, you could get in with a common and fall in love with it, and just like probably win some soul in tournaments later on.
Hmm.
Um, all right. Anything else to add to that? I think that's kind of our main
Nope.
announcements related to new features coming. Nothing else?
Nothing else right here. Nope.
All right. So let's move on. How do the outfits work? So the mechas, Exabyte, you want to take that?
The mechas, well, how do they work? That all the question says. So you
Yeah.
log in with your NFT, and they've got certain bonus stats attached to them. And depending on which NFT you're logged in as, that's you get those stats attached to your character. It's basically just a slot, like a ring slot or a boot slot. And then you can also have a secondary mech as your little pet, and that's just another slot. I think that answers the question.
All right. Let's see. When we'll be able to rent our NFT? I think we answered that. It's going to come quarter one of this year. We're gonna focus on getting in a couple of things first, but we've got
Mhm.
2 full-time engineers working on getting this in. So by that's like the
By
end
the
of
end of
March.
Q1, yeah, end of March.
Yeah. And very very possibly before then, but that's what we're promising. So game feedback. I thought I had my Infungible in my wallet, but it was in a different one. When connecting that wallet to the game, it should say that you have no Infungibles in your wallet. I think that's good feedback. We may not have that messaging.
Yeah, that's incredibly important feedback. I thought we did. Let me write that down to just double check that.
Thank you.
Yeah, write that down. Okay, I'll look into that.
So someone else is asking about the amount of prizes. Okay, so I'm gonna address this again. We are going to increase this a bit, but just to be clear, the prizes for the game, they don't come out of like the mint. They did for that first demo tournament, but this game costs a lot of money to make, and we have like full-time employees that we have to pay. So that's where the mint money is going. Um, the the prize money has always been designed to come out of the game community wallet, which is 4% of resale royalties. So there's, I'll just tell you, there's something like 60 or 70 in there right now. So it looks like 5 because those are at the top, but we actually are giving away point 0.1 like all the way down the leaderboard at various spots as well. So it's probably going to be more like 7 or 8 that we give away this time. So
Yeah. So
that's
just yeah, we're gonna give away. We want to make sure that it lasts though, because generally the way these things work, there's a lot of volume, a lot of transaction volume in the first few days after mint, and we don't want to just blow all of that, immediately in the first few tournaments. We want to make sure that for weeks to come, months to come, we've got reasonably decent prizes on the board. And if the wallet fills up, we will definitely be giving away more. We're going to be spending all this on prizes, but right now we're just pacing it to make sure we've got prize money to be given out for several months, and
yeah.
we'll make
And
sure there's always more. We will definitely make sure there's prize money in there one way or another.
I also think that we're probably going to like spread out the prizes to be perhaps smaller, but then like shared among a lot more people to get a lot more people excited about the idea of winning something, even if it's like point 0.1 soul. So we're going to try to smooth out the curve that way. Um, Undervalued has a comment that I just wanted to read, and this is true. Floor price is determined by community, not the devs. Lots of things happening in the future will take more off the market, such as rent-a-mech and staking. This isn't about the floor. This is about the game and what we're working on in the game. Yeah, we do want to stay focused on that, and I appreciate that. He's asking people to keep questions related to that and keep Floor Talk in the Floor Talk channel. We do have a channel for that, and I do go in there and look at it. So, and several of us do. So, I appreciate that. Will we be able to send in-game cards, items, crystals, or morphine particles to other infungibles you own? That is a good question.
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and the game mechanics are designed and balanced. So basically, no. That really complicates the design, and it just allows for all kinds of shenanigans. Where people could borrow each other's NFTs from each other's wallets and give each other all the stuff, and then you've got like 20 different burner accounts that are all just feeding into one monster account. That's definitely not the way the game is designed. The game is designed so that if you only own one or two, you can be competitive. You don't need to come in and compete against somebody who's got 50 different feeders that are just feeding their thing. So no, basically there's no way to do that. And there's a few little ways to do that, but it's really locked down. Now, when I say there's some exceptions, like for example, on Christmas, we have a Secret Santa, and but it's a Secret Santa. So there's no way you can here's the answer. There is no way you can give your cards or any of your stuff to any specific other character. We do have community events where there's like Easter egg hunt or Halloween trick or treating, where a bunch of prizes players can donate their stuff to the community. It goes into a big pool at random. It comes out at random. Those are a lot of fun. But no, there's no way that you can just funnel all of your resources into a different account. No.
So, someone here is complaining that the grant game isn't profitable. People look for profit. So, some people do want to play games, I guess, because they think they're going to make money. I don't know. Somebody
I mean,
put
it's
give me an
profitable for the
example.
winners.
I would love.
We gave
I,
away
yeah,
20, 30
you can.
something soul.
Yeah, the people who win do make a nice profit. But I'd like to know of a game on
Yeah,
Solana, and this is a
yeah,
real question. I'm not trying to be
yeah.
snarky at all. Show me a token that's worth anything that people are actually like it's worth your time grinding in the game to make, because all I see are tokens that are worth nothing, and you make very, very tiny amounts in order for doing things that in my opinion are not very fun. So that was our philosophy and why we decided to just give away soul. Now we
Right.
could be
And also why
completely
I'm
wrong
sorry to
about
interrupt,
this,
but yeah.
and maybe we totally misread the market, but we wanted to build a game that was fun, that wasn't all about people just in it for making a profit. And maybe we're playing in the wrong space, but we think we built something that doesn't appeal to everyone, but it does have some good addictive mechanisms. We're kind of finding our market, I think. So
Yeah,
um,
absolutely, absolutely. The game is fun. It's not for everybody. Not 100% of the people on planet Earth. There's billions of them, but I think it's fun, and I've heard a lot of people think it's fun. I'm sure there's some people in this room who think it's fun. And it's not quite as grindy. It's not like we were saying about the level cap. This is a game where we designed it so that you can come in, you can play a few times a day, and you might win one soul. Not just the simple, math is we can't give away one soul to 1,000 different people. That's just, not with our prize pool of 60 for months. But we do just have something. You don't have to grind all day. You don't have to grind all the time. But if you win, you're going to make more than a penny. If you want to play Axie Infinity and, for pennies an hour, power to you. But we're designing a game that's a little bit different than that.
So someone asks, if I move all my stuff to a ledger, are there any issues?
Yeah, that is an excellent question. And yes, there are issues. So we definitely spent some time looking into this. I should probably just post something on the login page. So Ledger does not currently work with any kind of app at all. The Ledger team is aware of these issues. The Ledger team has said that they will have something in place by Q1 of 2022. So that could be any time now. We'll see. But a Ledger wallet, because I have one myself and it's great for storing currency, and you can all you can do with it is you can send currency, you can receive currency. That is it. Ledger does not sign any kind of smart contracts, does not authorize anything at all. The Ledger team is working on it, but there's nothing we can do about that. So unfortunately, I really wish we did support Ledger, and we absolutely will. But we need Ledger to allow signing of contracts and things of that nature. Right now, the only thing you can do on a Ledger is send currency around. So yeah, I would love if it worked on Ledger, and it will as soon as possible. But we did launch. It works on Soulflare as of yesterday. So great question, and want to see that happen as soon as Ledger lets us.
Okay. Someone else has a good question here. My question is, one of my mechs has like $100. The other mech I played with last night, I logged in today, and it has $16,000. Did I get a bonus last night? What probably happened is that you have a job, and the jobs pay a lot of bucks. Bucks do not equate to dollars, so they pay very well. And 16,000, if you don't have much upkeep on your powers, you could probably accumulate that overnight. I think. Does that sound right?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that's definitely was my first thought too. But if it's literally 16,000 and there's a level cap of 5, I'm taking a look right now. Yeah, the highest career you can get is 300 an hour, which would not make thousands.
Oh.
So, no, I mean we didn't give you a bonus or anything. If you literally do have 16,000, then you probably didn't realize you did something in game, and you somehow collected. Maybe you beat a big boss. I mean, it's possible to collect that much in the patrols or through various mechanisms. And I'm just kind of guessing that you got that through the game and you didn't even notice at first. I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you can. But what Think Tank was starting to say is, yeah, you definitely can build up stuff over your career. Which if you're playing the game that much, you probably understand how that works. But at level 5, there's no way you get 16,000 overnight just from a career.
So let's see. Okay, what about the partner NFTs like Psyducks? Yes. So you guys are very important to us, and
Yeah.
we are just taking our time getting the bonuses right. So it's like 112 different bonuses. They're gonna, all have to be equal. This is not impossible to do, but it takes some thought in order to make sure that no one's getting an unfair advantage or stiffed. So that's a project that Exabyte's been working on a spreadsheet very diligently in the background. And give us an estimate on when we're going to assign those.
Not today. At
No.
least a week from now. By the time it'll be estimate 2 weeks. I'll say a 2 weeks is an estimate. It could be a little bit sooner than that. It could be a little bit later, but 2 weeks from now is a good estimate. It kind of depends on how fancy we want to make them too. If they get unique art, if they each
No
get
art.
unique art,
It's just points. Yeah, points, man.
well, yeah, estimate 2 weeks. Really appreciate the partners. Don't mean to leave you hanging. We absolutely, yeah, it's very important to do this, but as you can imagine, we had to get through the mint, and absolute number one top priority above everything else, above seeing my kid, it's his birthday. Priority was launching the game as promised on Thursday, and that happened. And then the goddamn fucking lag monster came around, and there was some algorithmic problems with the way we were doing the wallet queries, and there was just some performance issues, and that was just I didn't maybe I should have, but I didn't anticipate how bad the lag would be. So that just kind of overrode everything else. And there's so many people I owe messages to. I apologize, but just I've just been so laser focused on first launching the game and making sure that it went as smooth as can be. And then, well, it didn't go super smooth. There was the lag problems. Got those nailed down for the moment. And at some point, I'm going to sleep and answer all my emails. And but yeah, partner projects, 2 week estimate.
Okay, so let me see. How can we earn Solana from this game? I think we've talked about this. So you can hit certain spots on the leaderboard, and there's awards placed there. Also, on future leaderboards, you're not going to just be able to earn soul on the leaderboard. Some of the spots on the leaderboard will actually have in-game items that will give you more power, and those are going to be very valuable as well because those will increase your chances of being able to win soul on tournaments after that. So we kept this tournament board really simple and just has some soul prizes, but there are going to be in-game items on future leaderboards as well. But other ways to earn soul in the game, if you level up and make a character powerful, then it's more likely to be more valuable on the secondary market. And then we are also adding in some mechanisms to drop soul randomly for daily challenges into things like some of the patrols, if you've been on those. So we'll be announcing different ways that small amounts of soul are going to be trickled, but there's not a simple grinding mechanism where if you do this thing enough times repetitively, tap a tree or whatever, you're going to eventually get a coin popping out of it. We don't have that kind of a mechanism in the game.
You
Um,
got to win. Oh, I want to say something
um,
about winning. Yeah, about being in the top 5 on the leaderboard. So that's very well said. That yeah, we don't just have a thing where you click a tree 500 times and a penny pops out, and then you click a tree 500 more times, another penny pops out. We don't do that, but just again, we're trying to make a game that's fun. A lot of people have said it's fun. Not everybody, but a lot of people have said it's fun. And I'll say, man, there's some good stuff in the patrols, man. So I checked the leaderboard this morning, just the current status at that exact moment. I don't. Well, let me take a look right now. Well, whatever. Several hours ago, I just happened to check it this morning, and I looked at the top 5. And out of the people who are currently in the top 5, the kind of mechs they had, one of them had a rare, 3 of them were scarce, and one of them was uncommon. There were no epics at that moment in the top 5. There was only one rare, and it wasn't even in number 1. There was scarce in number 1. But at least I know the guy that was in number 1 had a really good drop out of a patrol. Like a really good drop out of a patrol. So he just played the game. He was doing the patrols, and I'm not going to say which character it is. But and they're not alone. There are definitely some of the characters that are up on the leaderboard that got some good drops out of patrols. And that's just more important than having a rare mech. And it's going to be even more important as everybody levels up. As you said earlier, kind of maybe didn't realize when we launched, but keep saying that the level of your mech isn't as important as other games and as other factors. But it is important at level 1 and level 2 and level 3 just because there's nothing else there. All you got is your mech. So of course a rare mech is going to be stronger than a common mech at level 1 or level 2. But as we slowly raise the level cap, as people just level up, and people are going to be at level, 100, 200, we're going to keep this thing going for a long time. And levels will get up into the hundreds, and just the rarity of your mech will matter less and less. But even already, in the top 5, there was 1 rare, 3 scarce, and 1 uncommon when I checked this morning. They all had sidekicks, though.
yeah, sidekicks are good. One thing about the sidekicks too, they're so small anyway, they'd be hard to see, but you have to play those just as default. You can't have like another NFT in there, at least not right now. We may add that in the future, but
Yeah, that's sort of in the middle of my to-do list. It's not at the top, it's not at the bottom. That's on my medium list, which means it's definitely not happening, for a few weeks. But
yeah.
if there's a lot of demand to have like a second PFP in your little mini, that definitely could happen. But it's not as high priority as, getting out the partner bonuses, for example.
So someone asked, could we burn our commons together and try to upgrade? Um, Not yet.
It's a cool
This has
idea.
been discussed. So we
That's a
we
cool
don't.
idea. That is a
Yeah,
cool idea.
we've been talking about this. We love the idea. If we do it, we want to get it right. We're
We want to get it
I,
right. Well said. We're not
yeah,
going to do that wrong. Well said. We're going to put a lot of thought into that. Maybe not. The answer is currently no. The current answer, you
yeah,
can't. But we think it's a cool idea. But we want to, if we do that, we want to be sure that we do it correctly.
yeah. We like the idea of being able to stake things for more fine particles a little more than that one, or at least we think that's a more important mechanism. Um, to pull some of these off the market and give them utility right now. But we do like the idea. I can tell you're a gamer. So let's see. How does the money work? You have a piggy bank, and is the atom thing the morphons? Yes, the atom thing is the morphons. And then you have a crystal bar at the bottom, and you can see your balance right above that crystal bar. It's a little bit difficult to notice if you're not really looking for it. I think we need to highlight it a little better. Now, the way the money works with the bank, this is just with respect to bucks, right? So you're constantly getting bucks in from your job. They're piling up, and then you're spending them on things all the time in the game. The reason you should put your bucks in the bank is because if you don't and you get attacked, someone might take some of your bucks if you have them in your wallet. It's like getting mugged. So this might sound annoying, but it's pretty cool for the other person to actually like get some bucks from you by beating you when you weren't looking. You can put your stuff in the bank. It also keeps you kind of coming back to the game and paying attention and banking your money. Otherwise, it's piling up and it can be taken from you. Is that accurate, Exabyte? I think.
Yep.
Okay. And then, yeah, the atom thing is the morphons. So, will levels be added on marketplace as filters? Would make sense that my level 5 is more expensive than a level 1. So,
Yep.
what did they say about this?
Uh,
We talked to Magic Eden about this specific topic.
yeah. Yes. Basically, yes. What we might do, so yeah, we could add a metadata field that's just level and it's just a number. What
Yeah,
we
that's
asked Magic Eden is would they ever have a way where you can sort by just sort the number, just really simply sort the number instead of sorting by which number is the most common. And there's like, oh, there's there's 50 that have an 8, and there's 55 that have a 17, and there's 56 that have a 12. But what if I want to sort by the actual number? Magic Eden was like, what? Oh, yeah, maybe. No, Magic Eden can't sort by the actual number. But yeah, we definitely do want to add level as a metadata. So to get around that thing of not being able to sort, what we might do is we might add two fields to the metadata, where one is just the straight up numeric value. You are level 8, you are level 24. And then we'll also add a field that's like which bucket are you in, kind of like the rarity, where it's just like you're in the top 10% of all players by level, or you're in the top, 30% of all players by level. So that one you could just kind of click and sort. So we might do both.
okay. Someone asks, can you buy morphons with bucks? And the answer is
Nope.
no. Um,
Fine question. The answer is no. And part of the reason for that
um,
is actually what I was saying earlier about not being able to have like 50 accounts and farm them. Um, so strictly speaking, if sharp-eared listeners here, and I'm sure there's somebody in this 132 people in the audience is thinking about this, and good on you for thinking about this. Is, oh, I found a loophole. I'll just mug somebody. I'll have 5 accounts. And then I'll just take off all my gear and I'll just be really weak and I'll have all my bucks out of the bank and then I'll mug myself and get all the bucks. And yeah, actually, you can do that. But all you'll ever get is bucks. So there's some limits. There's just some limits on how strong the bucks are. But yeah, strictly speaking, if you have 5 or 10 different accounts and you want to farm them for pure bucks, that's possible. You
someone
can't
asks,
convert bucks to morphons for that reason.
someone asks, how do you get your money out of the bank or deposit in the bank? And that was actually already answered right in the chat. It's fairly obvious on that page. How does the luck stat work? Someone asks, and I'm going to say that's a secret,
Yep.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
just one answer actually. It doesn't. The luck stat currently has zero impact on the actual game mechanics. As the in-game mechanics stand, luck does not currently have any effect.
yes, okay, that's true. Yeah. So if you're buying one for its luck stat now, thinking that you're going to get luckier in battle, that's not the way it's going to work. It's going to work in something in the work. It's going to come into play in the future with something that's not related to the battle at this point, anyway. Um, okay, so
Same with
this is
birthday.
a this is a this is a good question. The rarity of the mecha, is it important to play or only skills? So these rarity services that evaluate the rarity, they can tell you the overall rarity of one of our infungibles based on a combination of their uh, physical traits, their visual traits, as well as their in-game skills and points. And that's not necessarily the most powerful. The most rare one is not necessarily the most powerful in the game. Um,
There
we
is a
should.
correlation. There is
There's a
definitely a strong correlation,
correlation.
though.
Yeah, most of the ones near the top are pretty good, but there are ones that are pretty darn powerful that also have some fairly common visual elements. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. There's some ones that just have regular visual elements that are extremely powerful.
Yeah. Okay. Um, all right. Someone was having a hard time with the bank clicking the blue box. It seemed that interface. I wasn't having problems with it. If you can't figure out how to get money in and out of the bank, go ahead and write that into the help, and somebody will explain it there. Um,
I mean, maybe if they're having some kind of weird issue, just refresh the whole browser. If they're just clicking and nothing, I don't. It's working fine as far as I can tell. But
yeah. Um, okay. So somebody's asking about the prize, and I think I know this person. They didn't get from the demo tournament. If this is the last demo tournament, um, we are pretty sure we got all those out.
mhm.
So if you didn't, come in to help and please post your wallet address. And because we have like a record for everything that we sent out, it was a lot of prizes. We had two separate mods helping with us, and they did a great job. And if a mistake was made, we will correct it. But in other
And
cases,
also, if
people,
possible, post where exactly you finished. Like, how did you earn the prize? Because you came in,
yeah,
what number you finished in? Because maybe
yeah,
we sent it to whatever wallet the NFT was in. So maybe you have more than one wallet, and we
yeah,
sent it to whatever wallet the NFT was in.
that's the most common reason why people think they didn't get it. Um, so Ice Dragon Slayer, we see your question. This person believes they found a serious bug with the battles. And if you could reach out directly to Exabyte and or me, and I'll forward that to our tech
It's like,
team.
yeah, put it to them.
We
Let me take a look.
we would like to hear about it. So please do contact us. My DMs are open. Um, are there any benefits for holding plus two mechas? So I don't know if you mean like your mecha plus two additional or just for holding two. If you're holding two, you can bring one into battle with you and you get the points for both. They stack. And then you can also have separate games going for each mecha that you own. If you just had two mechas, you could be playing with both of them. You could run out of all your energy in fights with one. You could log out and log back into the other with the other mecha, and your second mecha can always be a sidekick, even if it's the main character following another game path. So that's the benefit for holding two, and if you had three, you could play three different games. And very soon, we're going to have a staking mechanism where you'd be able to grow more funds in exchange for having some extras. So, um, is it important to have? This is a good question. Is it important to have your pet mecha leveled up to the same level as your main? Will a level 5 pet mecha perform better than a level 1 with the way the stats stack? Exabyte, take that one.
Oh man, that's a great question. But no, the stats on your mecha that's just the stats that are on the NFT, and leveling up your mecha does not level up the stats as posted on the NFT. So great idea, great question, but no, at least not the way things work right now. Everything we do here is open. We're working on this for months to come, years to come. The game's going to grow and evolve. There's obviously things that can be fixed. There's a lot of potential, so much potential for things that could happen, and we're just happy to work with such a cool community. And but as it stands now, no, that's a great question. But leveling up your mech doesn't actually change the sidekick. No.
Um, That's an interesting enough idea that like that could go on a list that we have. I like that one. So someone's asking if we can allow players to create their own tournaments and when we'll have music and sound effects. So players won't be able to create their own tournaments anytime soon. We do have the ability to create custom tournaments. For instance, tournaments that only have, well, for instance, leagues in them, or now that we have the NFTs in the game, we could create tournaments that are only open to a single NFT or to certain NFTs. We're gonna try to get some of these other more important things in before we turn to these types of custom tournaments. As far as music and sound effects go, people are really asking for this a lot. Exabyte,
Yeah, maybe. Um,
yeah,
yeah, okay, fine. We'll talk about that.
okay,
No reason not to.
um,
No reason not to.
okay. So here's just a positive comment. This person is sat in front of their lappy, watching a timer countdown, waiting to attack again. Thanks, guys. I feel like an excited teenager and with 5 fires. Thank you for that comment. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, really,
Glad you're enjoying
it's
the
good to
game.
hear that because, as I mentioned, I had a really rough night just trying to get the server under control, a rough morning. I finally did it, and I'll tell you, man, I ran a lap around my house. I was so excited. I killed the lag beast. But, I'm exhausted. I put so much into this, so I really do it really helps to hear those. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're getting a couple more questions about morphons and what they are. We get it. There's not much you can do with them in the game right now. Other and someone is complaining they blew all their morphons, like refreshing their energy. I assume that's what they were doing. Morphons can be used to buy really powerful powers and
Yeah,
equipable items.
yeah,
And
and
the
there'll be more
morphons
and
that
more coming
buy
as you
these
level up,
powers
and
don't have an
if you
upkeep
blew
speed.
yours, there'll be more. Just keep playing the game as you do the patrols, as you just as you play through the game. Every time you level up, you get I'm pretty sure it's 10 morphons per level, just for leveling up. And right now there's a level cap of 5, but a week and now a month from now people will be much higher level. 2 months from now they'll be much higher level. Um, so you'll get more morphons as you play, and there'll be more things to buy too. There's going to be more equipable. You might want to save them. Honestly, if you're listening to this, there's going to be more and more things that are even available to buy with morphons. Just trying to roll this out really carefully and not upset the balance too much on day one. um, but there will be more ways to get it. You see, somebody's already asking how can I get more morphons? Well, maybe we should do staking.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe staking.
Somebody's having problems equipping. You know what? I just lost my place here. Somebody's having a problem equipping a helmet, I think. Um,
Well, are they level? I think level 3 helmets unlock. They have to be high enough level, which I think is level
yeah, I'm
3.
actually having a problem equipping Arthurian Greaves at the moment. I don't know if anyone's on. Yeah, so what happens
Yeah,
is
Thorium
in
Greaves
this
are a leg, I think, right? And I don't think there's any legs until level
leg.
6. So nobody it should say right on the screen, and I do not blame you at all if like there's some things where once you read it, it's there. I try to make it clear, but man, sometimes it's not clear. So forgive me if the UI. But yeah, if you go to the if you're equipping stuff, it says unlock your first leg slot at level 6. And whoever that is, I'm pretty sure they're not level 6. And the Thorium
Yeah, so
Greaves
no one's level 6.
are a leg.
So if that's a leg that hasn't been unlocked yet, that's the reason you can't equip it. But it's not really your fault because they're for sale in the store before you hit that level. So apologies
Oh,
for
and you know
that.
what?
Just hang
If
on
you're,
to
if
it
you're
though.
playing on mobile, that message I just mentioned, that is not there on mobile. Uh, some people are playing on mobile. If you're able to get in, if you're able to log in, you can play on mobile, and I know some people are. I've
Yeah.
seen some screenshots.
Okay. Okay, so somebody applied to form a long wing club, I assume league, but there was nothing after they applied. Any help in forming a league for the long wings? Um, what
So
happens
if
when
you're
somebody
not
I
in a
actually
league at all, if you just click on the league tab, if you're not in a league and you click on league, there's a little button that says create your own league. Click here. It's a red button that says here. Click on that. You can make your league. Whoever starts the league, they're the founder. They started the league. They're the leader. The leader can invite anybody they want into their league. It's got to be a two-way street. You need an invite and you need an accept. Um, and then once there's more people in the league, the founder can make other people leaders. There's always one person and the leader of the league basically just means you control the invites. You can invite people, you can kick people. Actually, you could change the name. There's one point of contact. Anyway, click on the league tab, start your own league, invite everybody. Or if you're trying to get into a league that somebody else founded, yeah, they have to invite you and you have to accept, or you have to request and they have to accept. But it requires both parties have to accept for somebody to join.
okay. So we're coming up on an hour, and I mean, if any of the mods need to go, like, that's fine. My take is we'll go as long as we need to, as long as people have questions here. We know the game is new and we don't have good tutorials in place for it. In the past, when Exabytes had some games, they rolled out a little more slowly, and so a small community helped other people as they came in. We're kind of hoping you early adopters are the ones who are helping people in the future, but a lot of people came into this all at once, not really having any experience with it, and it's a little bit obtuse at times. But once you get into the loops, you'll get a hang of it, and hopefully some of you will be helping others out on the channels. So let's see. Are we allowed to promote our leagues outside of the game and Discord? For example, if I form a
Please.
league, could I design a
Oh yeah.
website for it and promote it on
Oh
social
hell
media?
yeah.
Absolutely. You could do a Times Square billboard.
Uh,
Um, with staking, will you get more morphons for higher rarity and or level? Um, yes, the staking that we envision will get you more morphons than you would ordinarily earn through the game. It doesn't give you higher rarity for your mecha per se, but trust me, the items that you'll be able to buy with it, you're going to appreciate. Doesn't help you level up though. Um,
well, I think the
so
question was if you stake a common versus staking a rare, do you get
oh
more
oh
morphons for it? And I think we haven't
maybe
100% nailed this down. Oh yeah, go ahead.
you know what? Somebody just did a thumbs up right as you said that. So like, I think
But
maybe that's what they meant. Um, and
so
I
we
think
haven't 100% nailed this down, but I don't think so because I mean, I think part of the idea here is just get stuff off the market. If we haven't 100% nailed it down.
yeah, our initial thought was no and keep it simple. And the idea is to give more utility to commons that people don't perceive as being as good. Although we think once you play up enough in the game, they can still compete pretty well. But we're gonna probably the idea was to start them off all producing the same, but we could come up with some surprises before it actually comes out. There's a lot of things we can do with this, and it could change over time as well.
And we welcome
Um,
feedback from the community.
absolutely. So yeah, so this is something I've seen a couple of times. There's the free fallen. You
Hmm.
hear a faint scream. You know this one?
Yeah.
Somebody's
So
fallen.
yeah,
Okay, so
that's
like,
a fine question. So uh, in order
so,
to there's some events that you can fail. Boss fights you can fail, and there's some events like that free falling one that you can fail. And well, speaking of fail, it's a little bit of a fail on my part, to be honest. In the design, I had if I had another week, this would be a lot more polished and hopefully a lot less confusing and little things like that I would have caught if I had another week before I launched this. But it was more important to launch it 2 days after the mint as promised, so I didn't go in and catch every little detail on that. As it is right now, it's fine. I'm pretty sure you just failed that mission, so you'll get it again. But in order to pass that mission, you need a power that is tagged on the back end. Certain powers are tagged as flight, or certain powers are tagged as acid, or as various different fire. Um, and so certain missions, well, I don't want to give too much of a spoiler, but if you're a superhero and somebody's falling off a skyscraper, you probably want to use your flight power to save them. Sorry if that's a spoiler. Although if I recall, I think flame actually is one of the options on there, which gives a kind of a hilarious result, but it's not as good. Like just in terms of the rewards of the game mechanics, I'll just spoiler: you do not get a good reward if you set a civilian on fire instead of catching them. Um, but in order to use a power that's tagged with flight, you have to own a power that's tagged with flight. And with the level cap being as low as it is, you might not have any of those. So I'm gonna own it. I'm sorry, that's a little small oversight on my part. Kind of like the letter N was a much larger oversight on my part that I own for the rest of my life now. I mean, we'll fix it on the blockchain, but I still own it in my life anyway. Yeah, so that's already on my to-do list of things that need to be tweaked. Is if you get that mission and you don't have any powers that match that box, I'm pretty sure you just automatically fail. But you'll be able to do it again.
okay, so we've got a question here. I'm not sure I fully understand this. This is from Pan, but he's quoting this from Hash Crypto Cake. Can we create a process where winners that are above floor price are burnt to reduce the number of Infungibles, but the winnings end up as a token that can be used to buy additional qualities for each Infungible. This will reduce the number. So we will talk about that some more, and panel we'll have a conversation with you because I'm sure you can explain this a little better. But we uh, we have talked about the possibility of combining and other ways to maybe take some of the supply off the market. We're going to probably start with giving extra utility to the commons, but we're open to suggestions from the community like this for ways to kind of tighten things up and get a little more value for these things. We want the secondary market to create enough royalties to keep the in-game prizes interesting. So yeah, we'll have a chat about that one. Um, Someone is surprised by just how much world building went into this thing. Um,
They're not
yeah,
wrong.
that's
It's been a lot of fun. And there's more to come. Actually, a little
um,
spoiler alert. I'm sorry, a little spoiler alert. This is think tank. You don't know this. It's a surprise, but I'm putting this one in on my list. It might push back some of the other stuff, but it's so in on planet Earth coming up next month. There's the Olympics, and oh my God, we got to have some in-game events for the Olympics. There is going to be a superhero Olympics. And I apologize. It might push back a tiny bit of the blockchain stuff, but it's going to be so fucking cool. Superhero Olympics coming in February.
I think that'd be Mech,
The world building is going
Mech
to continue.
Olympics. We're mechas now, man.
The Mech Olympics, yeah.
Um, okay, so I'm going back to. I came out for a second and going back into the questions. We got a lot coming in.
Yeah, I just want to say again, just yeah, the world building. Thank you. A lot went into it, and I just want to say again, it's alive. It's not just like a static thing. You read the comic book once you're done. It's like you're subscribed to the comic book. There's going to be new stories coming out. You know, I've got some writers, some artists on staff, and in-game events. I mean, there's going to be some huge in-game events that we haven't even teased at all. I'm not even going to say, but there's well, I'll tease the first one. Is going to be the Olympics. It's going to be fun, and
so
there's going to be prizes.
someone I'm trying to avoid things that are going to be redundant, and some of these are closed. So, sort of scanning through. I want to get into anything that we haven't really answered yet. Oh, how does the upkeeping work? This is a really good question. How does upkeep work? Does it automatically take bucks out of my bank? I lost all of my defense cards because my bucks were out. So,
Yes, it
yeah,
takes money. Okay, so I'll take this one. Yes, it does take money out of your bank. So if I'll just briefly explain the entire mechanics here. You have a career. Your career supplies a certain number of bucks per hour. I think it starts at 150 and then it goes to like 300 or whatever it is. Your career supplies bucks per hour. Your superpowers have an upkeep in bucks per hour. You subtract one number from the other number. Ideally, they pretty much match, or maybe you run a little deficit. If you're just playing hard, you can get extra bucks from doing missions, and you can actually get a lot more than your career. Sorry, I said I'd keep this brief. So you add up all the upkeep of all your cards combined. That's a number. That number gets subtracted out of your balance every hour. If you have it in your hand and you're just on hand, not in the bank, that gets subtracted first. If you don't have any on hand, it will take it out of your bank. It will not do anything other than take bucks out of your bank. But if your bucks does go below zero and you have zero in your bank and your upkeep is still owing, then it will one by one, it will slowly auto sell your powers. So if you just have a huge deficit and you don't play for a week, when you come back, you're going to have less powers. But that has a nice little balancing to it because every power that it sells does two things. One, the selling gives you some bucks. That helps pay off your deficit. And two, it makes your upkeep go lower. So after one or two sales, your upkeep is lower. Hopefully an hour from now, it won't have to do it again. I don't remember the exact algorithm, exactly how it picks which ones to sell, but it definitely picks your weakest powers first. It sells the ones. It's a pretty simple algorithm, but it basically, which ones would you sell? Just like the average player, if you've tiered something up, it doesn't sell it. If it's really powerful, it doesn't sell it. Morphons, it'll never sell. Crystal powers, it'll never sell. But yeah, if so the direct question, yes, it will take it out of the bank. But if your bank is at zero, then it'll start selling your powers.
So someone asks what badge recommendations are. That's or badge accommodations. I think they're recommendations, but or accommodations. But anyway, they get dropped in different patrols, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to collect a certain number of those before you can fight a boss. that was sort of answered in the chat. We've got Exotic Carlo here really helping out, answering a lot of questions there. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Exotic.
Um, yeah, someone. This is kind of funny. So it really reminds me of some of those old school Facebook games. That's funny. We Nick, like we used to build these a long time ago. Old school Facebook games, and this was kind of an homage to that era of our career when those things were
Well
big.
said.
We
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. Will levels be added to Magic Eden? Yeah, we got this, and they have told us they can do this when we add the new metadata. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be a filtering like what they don't have right now, but they say they can add is like, can we see level 5 and up or level 10 and up? Right now, you'd have to choose all the levels individually. It's like you can filter by just a single level, which is not
Yeah,
very
we already
useful.
talked about this. We answered it. Good
Yeah,
question. We already answered it.
yeah. Okay, so in the patrols, I just stole a kitty from a little girl. Can't wait to put it to work. Okay. What are the crystals that you collect in patrols? Where can we see how many we have?
So that's in your wallet. Crystals are the least important currency. Honestly, the game wouldn't even be that terrible if we just replaced them. Their main use is just buying equipment. Most of the equipment costs crystal, and I'm pretty sure the only meaningful way to get crystal is just weight. You know, you just harvest, you get like 40. It fills up at I don't even remember the rate it fills up. One per half hour, one per 20 minutes. Um, but they're in your wallet. When you just click on your blue wallet, um, it'll say how much crystal you have.
Yeah, so the crystal farm, it does get you some stuff that's better than you can get with bucks by themselves, especially in the equipable items as you level up, and there's a lot more of that going on. There's better stuff you can get with crystals. It's not as good as the stuff you can get with morphons. It's kind of the in between currency, and it keeps you coming back. There's a mechanism you have to kind of keep coming back to collect it. So it's a reason to come back and remember to come back in the game. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's a daily login bonus that stacks every day. So if you you log in the first day, that's just on the homepage. It's a big button. Just go
It's
in and
hard to miss.
collect that every day. And then every 7 days, you get like a really good. So if you've logged in 7 days in a row, you get an extremely good prize for that. And they get better and better as you go through. And if you make it all the way to 30, I don't know, it's a really epic prize. Um, let's see. How important is rarity compared to other stats? Tell us more about luck and what exactly the aura is for. So we've talked about luck. The auras, why don't you take that?
Aura, it's a combat stat. Basically, if somebody doesn't have any defense against aura, if you've got like magic aura 5, then you're doing 5 points of magic damage every turn. There you go.
Yeah. So and how important is rarity compared to other stats? Rarity, there's rarity like you see on like moon rank, that kind of rarity, and that's only partially related to in-game performance. And then there's like power rarity as a category, like as an attribute on the mecha itself, and that just kind of tells you what those power bonuses that you have, whether they're like just okay or better or really good, basically. But that by itself is just remember those mecha stats are just one thing out of like many things that you will use to build your character. And the deeper you get into the game, they're always going to be good if you have a really really strong mecha. But you can still build a less rare mecha into a real beast if you get far enough into the game. Um, let's see. Our stats. No, we're not doing the metadata updating yet. Except I talked about that a little bit earlier. He said within 2 weeks. Um, let's see. Okay, someone's recommending Fractal Marketplace as a place to sell because they're much more catered to games. We will take a look at that.
Oh, thanks for the tip.
The creator of Twitch is behind it, which sounds cool. Let's definitely take a look at that. Someone got a cape hero from the black market. but they're level 5. When will the level cap be increased so that it's useful? Um, what do you think? When do you think we're going to start doing that, Exabyte?
Yeah, so that's just going to be ongoing for over months and months and months. It'll be going up. I don't want to put it. It'll go up a few at a time. In a few at a time. So not for a few days. What we want to do is we want to let everybody come in. And well, let's see. We sold 7,777 tokens right now on the leaderboard. There's 1,500, which isn't terrible. You know, figure not everybody's going to play the game. There's some people that are just like flipping in the marketplaces. Um, but yeah, maybe probably maybe Monday we might raise a level cap up to like 8 or 9, or maybe you know what? I'm gonna say right now, after the current tournament ends Tuesday, and when this current tournament ends, then we will raise the level cap to about 8 or 9. And then we'll pretty much be putting it up about one per day, but not per day. We'll put it up like by 3 once every 3 days, and we'll put it up, maybe by 4 once every 3 days, something like that. And you know what? Shit, man. I don't hold me what I just said about Tuesday. I don't know exactly when. Sorry. I'm just watching the community. Maybe sooner than later because there are a lot of people at level 5 already.
I'm going to try to talk him into doing it sooner, guys. I'm just saying I'm on your side.
He's
But he's the
not
boss
lying
about
there.
this part. So he's the boss of this part. So,
Yeah. Well, and then there's, to be completely honest, there is the other side of it. Is there's two reasons for the level cap. One is the gameplay is not letting people run away with it too much, and to be honest, solely based on that, I could raise it up to like 6 or 7 or 8 right now. But then also, I just want to make sure I have it balanced. I haven't tested the game as a level 6 player, and I just got to do that. I'm not gonna let you guys be level before I've personally tested it and been like, oh shit, there's that. So
somebody,
soon.
somebody got an airdrop something like an NFT. It looks like in their wallet. It's it looks a lot like our art, but that is not from us. That could be spam.
Congrats.
Here's my prediction. In a year, we're all going to be getting spam flooding our Phantom wallets as people realize how cheap it is to send these things out. With no gas fees on Sol. I think we're going to be. This is some sort of a promo code VI pass with a QR code on it, and yeah, that's not from us. Although it looks like it could be. I agree. Um, Let me see. Will you guys expand the slots for the patrol events? Also, well, that's about 11. We talked about it. So
The slots you mean in no, there's not. You can do 3 patrols at once. I'm pretty sure it's 3 at once, but then there's only just fixed slots. If you're not um yeah, good question, but that's just
he-
not the way the mechanics are balanced.
here's the thing, though. The patrols you can do them as many times as you want, and there's actually like later on there'll be like an easy mode and a hard mode, and that's correct, right, Exabyte?
Yes. Oh, and also
The,
the entire thing will get reset like a week or two from now. If you've completed a patrol, and by completed I mean, you've completed a patrol, then basically you'll be able to do it every couple of weeks. You'll be able to redo the whole thing. You get all the rewards again, you get all the fights again. But that's only for players who complete it. If you're only halfway through, we don't yank it out and make you start over at 0. But all the patrols, yeah, you'll be able to do them again in hard mode, which as a level 4 or 5 player, hard mode doesn't even exist yet.
so what
anybody
about daily
anybody
challenge?
anybody finished the golf one yet? it's that'd be nobody. I mean I could check, but I don't think any. Oh, there's a surprise at the end of the golf one. It's so cool. There's such a cool surprise at the end of the golf.
um, Somebody asked if we're hiring, and the answer is no. But you can DM us. It depends. Maybe there's some kind of a way we could work together somehow. Um,
I mean,
so
we definitely love our community. We love working with our community. Yeah, hiring and offering dental insurance. No, depends on what you mean by hire. But yeah, we do love working with the community.
yeah, and you never know how we might be able to work on something together. So, what about daily challenges with Soul Award rewards? We haven't fully worked that out, but we know it's important, and we do want to get that in. Probably a couple other things first, though. So, again, somebody's
Yeah, yeah.
adding about this.
Just speaking on that, that's definitely something we would like to do. That was something that we were talking about way back at the beginning. Just the two of us. Is that having multiple ways to win soul, where the main way you win soul is through the tournaments like we're doing now, but maybe some alternate ways where you're not winning tournaments. And I don't want to but really a lot of it just depends on how big the community wallet is. If we've got a really healthy resale market, one advantage of a low floor price is there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of action happening. So everything that's in the wallet, it's going away to the community one way or another. Mostly through the tournaments like we do now, but there could be some daily challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, and in order to like build a good fighter, you really are going to have to do all these patrols. You're really gonna have to go through all this grinding and building of the characters. So that's how you get your skill points. That's how you level up. So I can see things like dropping in every now and then and being a big surprise and being a lot of fun. So Chronix, our friend Chronix, asked the same question about the sidekick mecha leveling up. So yeah, we've got that on our list, and I think it's an interesting idea. Someone's talking about sounds again, and they say just a simple pew pew would do. Another comment on Fractal Marketplace. So we're gonna have to look at those guys for sure. Um, uh, okay, is the black market better to buy from when offered? So I think some things are only available there, but you don't get a. You know what? Let Exabyte take that. I don't know.
Well, that one I'm gonna let the gamers. You got to play. You got to play the game, man. You got to play the
Okay.
game. There's spoilers that, yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. So this person would like to see the stats of unused mechas, so they can see what they're about to do. They've got 17 mechs with booger stats. I'm booger stats. So I'm not sure
Booger
what that
stats.
means.
What game are that? They get +5 to nose picking. I don't think that's a
So
stat.
as I understand it now, you have to click on it and it has to go up top, and then you see the stats, right?
Yeah. So when you click on
Yeah.
it for the very first time, it actually registers inside the game server, creates the account, and until you do that, well, we need the wallet to actually sign the smart not exactly. We need the wallet to actually verify. So what you're seeing in the preview before you click on it, technically could be spoofed. I think it's unlikely that anybody's doing that, but hey, man, we're keeping everything airtight. So technically, if you really wanted to spoof your browser, spoof your wallet, you could have mechs displayed there. It would be The request is harmless, though. There's no reason not to display the stats. If I'm understanding the question, it's just the same stats that you can see, in your wallet, the same stats you can see on Magic Eden. And if I understand what they're asking for is they want to see those stats before actually registering it. I mean, I guess that could be possible. The way the code works right now, it would not be trivial to do that. It definitely possible. But to be honest, I've got way more important things first. But if that's something the community keeps asking for, week after week, we could add that eventually. Sure.
What's the difference between block and move?
Oh man, great question. So there's 3 attacks: move, attack, and defense. Defense is block. Those 2 words are interchangeable. Strike and attack are interchangeable. Move and dodge are interchangeable. They're subtly. I mean, they're all the same stat. They're subtly different in the way that just like the grammar is used, but that's just like a grammar thing. Yeah, block is defense, move is dodge, and attack is strike. I'm not sure if I answered the
Okay.
question or not.
So somebody's asking, once the game is unlocked, will we be back paid for all the XP that we're not accumulating right now? And the answer, I'm sure, to that is no, because then you would instantly go up all the levels, which is kind of
Exactly.
what we're trying to stop. Let's see.
I'm glad you like the game so much, though. I'm glad you like the game so much that you're gaining extra XP. I'm sorry. I feel your frustration. The level cap will be, God damn it. Yeah, the level cap will be raised soon. This AMA is talking me into raising the level cap a little bit sooner than I would have otherwise. But it's going to go up just a
So
few at
many
a time.
people,
Catch
so many
in.
people are asking for it.
That means they love the game. Honestly, that's kind of a good sign.
So someone else came
But I
in.
apologize. Somebody else what?
Multiple
Sorry.
questions. We got multiple
Yeah.
questions here about incentivizing delisting on exchanges. We talked about this earlier. I don't know if this is being recorded, but this will be discussed. We've got some plans in place. We talked about in detail for getting people to. We're giving some more utilities for these commons. Um, any idea? Any plans for setting up an LP in the future to trade MP? I don't think we're going to let people trade merit points. At
More
least,
fun
sorry,
articles.
more fun points, more fun particles. Uh, they're based on something else. So I don't think we're going to allow them to trade more fun particles to each other, and unless and until we actually make a token out of them.
Right.
Um,
Lesson to which, whoops, is this being recorded?
um, how do I sell the extra cards I have? So if you have cards you don't need, there is a sell button right at the bottom, right? If you go into the
That
training,
button just you can't a little bit of newbie protection. You have to be a certain level. You
oh
just can't even do it until, but it's like level 2 or 3. Um, Actually, let's see. I think
yeah,
I'm logged in right now as level 3 player, and yeah, basically as like as a very low player, you can't because you just shoot yourself in the foot. Sorry. Gosh, I hope your upkeep. Yeah, I got to raise the level cap.
okay, so we're getting some compliments on the way the site is performing now compared to what it was like before.
Oh man,
Mm,
thank you. Have I mentioned how much that just really hurt my soul? I was the worst. That was so bad, and I apologize again, just for all the minutes of everybody's life that got wasted clicking and waiting for this. It's just, I'm so sorry, but yeah, killed the fucking lag monster dead.
Okay, so someone's asking. This is a good question. So once people are leveled up, will unplayed epic and legendary mechs go down in value as they won't be as strong? So the idea in this game is that leveled up mechs will always be worth more than brand new ones. So because it takes a long time to get a mech up to level 20. So I don't know what the market is going to bear, but I'm just going to imagine that if somebody has a level 25 common with a well-built character, and you'll be able to see this in the updated metadata, that of course that's going to be worth more than a lower level um, legendary that hasn't been played at all. I mean,
Uh huh.
that's at least that would seem rational to me. We'll see how the market plays this out, though. I mean, it's already surprising me right now with what it's doing, but it is what it is, and we're trying to respond to it. So we'll see. Yeah, I think these legendaries. I think people are going to they're getting into those because they're strong, so strong out the gate. People want those for their primary characters, and so I think it's almost self-fulfilling that those are going to be the ones that do get leveled up hard, and probably get built really strong. And they're all out there now. And unless there's ones that are sort of like off the market completely and not being played, I don't know how many fresh ones there are going to be a month from now. Maybe that'll be a rare item itself, just a completely unplayed legendary. Um, Someone's asking how they use their golf ball and golf club. Just do the do the patrols in the golf section, and you'll find out. That one's just so tedious. Takes forever to get through. It's fun though.
All right, there's some opinions on that one from Think Tank.
It's a grind, but all right. Um, yeah, another question with the falling quest. We responded to that one earlier. Let's see. Um, Can you talk about powers and net income? If you go neg, what happens? I think we already talked about that. Basically, the game starts
Yep.
taking them back. So be careful not to be in the negative or very much in the negative. Or it's okay to go in the negative if you temporarily do it in order to beat someone, but as long as you pull yourself back out of it afterwards. That's a
Yeah,
strategy that
actually,
not
I'll
a lot
talk
of
about
people
that a
like
little
being
bit more. We talked about this, but that's you kind of hinting right there at a very good point. Is that, yeah, going negative is actually a really good strategy, because you can be more powerful. Um, so the income you get from your career, I mean, it's really not that much. It's like a few hundred per hour. Whereas if you're playing the game hard, when you're actually playing, you can earn way more than that just by doing the patrols and stuff per hour. So if you're going to be playing actively, then every hour you're going in and you're earning a lot more than your career. then you can have a negative upkeep and be stronger than a similar player at your level who's not doing that. So it's a really good strategy. But the one thing you don't want to do is go too negative for too long if you're not logging in every day.
So someone's commenting. They're saying months worth of good reads in the lore. So thanks for noticing. That lore's
Yeah,
not for everyone. Not everybody likes to read. I'm actually not a big reader of lore in the games that I play, AAA games and stuff like that. Even, but some people like it, and so I'm glad you found it and you appreciated it. We uh, we had some writers spend a lot of time on that. And
yeah,
they That's
yeah.
some good
Thank you.
stuff. So.
Yeah, we try. There's different angles of the game for different people. We know it's not going to appeal to every single person, but we try to put as much in there for as many different people as we can.
Okay, we addressed this earlier. The Undead Souls already maxed out their league, and they had to create a second one. And Exabyte is increasing the number of people who can be in a league, or
Yeah.
number of
So, well,
players.
two things. So, one, yeah, definitely, I'll increase that up to 20. But also, even at 20, I believe the undeads might even. There's going to be some leagues that
Yeah,
are bigger, and there is just going to be a total cap on it at some point. So having multiple, that's great that there's multiple. There's affiliate leagues. There can be a whole family. That's a really good design actually. Even if I up it to 20, there might still be two full leagues of undead souls, and that's fine.
yeah. So, so you guys have a real following with the game. Like you've got obviously you've got a lot of hardcore players who are
Yeah.
joining us here. So the Undead Souls, you may have so many people in your NFT community who play this game. You may actually have like different tiers of leagues. You may have like the major leagues and the minor leagues or something like that. And then later on, when we start doing league wars, because I think the league mechanism is already like I thought this would happen with the NFT communities kind of built in already, that
Hmm.
people love the leagues. And so that's probably something that we're going to get into sooner rather than later, is the way a way for you guys to like fight each other in these tournaments. Um, and so maybe you have
It's going to
different
be awesome.
different tiers. Yeah. Um, let's
All right,
see.
maybe a few more questions here, but I think we're kind of answered.
Ye-
We're getting into
Yeah,
repetitive stuff here.
you're right. You're right. Exabyte's got to go code. Um, when you when you
Did I mention
select
it's my kid's birthday? Not today, tomorrow,
Yes,
but
it's
anyway.
his kid's birthday this weekend. He's taking a little time, you guys. He has not had trust me, he's not had very much time off in months, nor have I.
In
Um,
yeah, yeah, neither of you, but man, my kid is just he's like crying. I need to dungeon master. He really wants to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I left him hanging. He just he slayed a Madnicore, and I had to go. You know what? Literally, I don't think you know this thing. Take when you called me with the news that Magic Eden was going to list us. Uh, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons since then. I
oh
was
wow.
literally sitting at the table, and he had just killed a Manticore, and his characters are just sitting there, and they're just like, we haven't picked up where we left off. Like they're actually one of them is just made his death save. Good news. So they're not dying, but he's got a character at 0 hit points, and we got to pick up where that left off. And I kind of
Yeah,
told him I should be able to do that tonight. I said I can't do it all week with the mint and the game launch, and he's like, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, no, please play Dungeons and Dragons with me, Daddy." And but I'm gonna play that with him tonight. But I am gonna up the league size. There's more code I gotta write first.
so, in the casino, yes, I'll just answer that. In the casino, do you win bucks? Yes. That's one of the things you can win in the casino. Um, alright, we're kind of running out of, stuff. I have a question. Why do okay, some of the very rare mechas have what we call bosses in them, and you'll actually run into these in the game. Um, they have bosses rather than our old superhero characters. So, um, the bosses don't have a power rarity, I think, attached to them. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, can you explain that quickly?
They're just on a different scale. They just don't have that stat in the metadata.
Yeah. They're all pretty good though, right?
Pretty much. I mean, if you play the game, you can eyeball it. At a certain point, if you're a connoisseur of the game, then you'll just be able to look at the stats. You don't even need the power rarity. You can just see if it has, life plus. I don't want to say a number, but if it has certain stats, like really good, a magic aura and a really good life bonus and a really good elemental damage, you don't need the power rarity to tell you that's a good card. And most of the
Yeah.
bosses are like that. I don't want to promise every single boss is like that, but in general, they are.
Yeah. So, you guys, we have a lot more questions here, some of which are actually quite relevant to the game. We are in an hour and a half. I tell you what, we're going to do another one of these soon. We got to let Exabyte go. And actually, Exabyte, if you want to peel off, we've still got 96 people in here, and I
I
can
mean,
try
if
to
they,
answer some of these.
is there any chance we could do like a lightning round, or are we even set up for that? Maybe
Uh,
not. We're not set up for a lightning round of questions, or not. No, we're not set up for
sure.
lightning round of questions.
I mean,
Um,
we could we could let people on the stage. This could just go on and on. Is the thing. We've got some hands up. How about if we?
yeah,
How about if we?
let's let a few people on the stage. Let's let like a few people on at once, and just kind of try to do a lightning round and see how that goes. Maybe that's a
Okay,
terrible idea. I don't know.
Cassius Clay, I just invited up.
What's up, Cassius Clay? Get all up in your grill like your name was George Foreman. Bye,
Okay, maybe we had
Cassius.
mic problems. No one else. Ballin, can you watch for hands? Oh, we got somebody here.
I got the post.
What's up, M Graham?
Yo, yo, what's up,
Hey,
everybody?
hope you're having a
First
good
of
day.
all, I want to apologize for my English right now. I'm not the native English speaker. So, first of all, excuse me if I do some mistakes.
So far, so
Um,
good.
I have not a real question this way. I just try to understand some few things about this project. First of all, the defending, man. The defending, I try everything you guys say or write. It seems like hard, you know? Seems like it's kind of algorithmic, which kind seems to me like that it's like about, is it about the timing when we defend?
Do you mean like if you have a certain spot on the board and then you come back an hour later and you don't have that spot? Is that what you're
No,
talking about?
while the battle is going.
So yeah, your hero has three stats. They're on your profile page. You've got your attack, your defense, and your move.
Mm-hmm.
And
All
if you
right.
want to increase your defense score, get some defense superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
like titanium skin. It's the blue one. Get some of the blue defense powers, like titanium skin, and those will
Mm-hmm.
increase your defense score.
All right. So I have to get the defense one to defend better.
Yes.
Or is it possible to defend good without the the items? So it's almost must be to get the defending suit to you defend. Is it right?
You want your scores to be as high as possible. So get the best powers you can. Get as many of the best powers as you can hold on to, and
Mm-hmm.
check on your profile page. It'll have your attack, defense, and move score. And I don't mean your
Yeah,
skills. I mean, yeah.
yeah. The point is the skill. You can buy the skills, but the most main thing for me is to use them. Like if I try to defend, sometimes it feels like, damn, I did it, but it didn't work. Like you know what I
Well,
mean?
keep playing the game and you'll figure it out.
All
Good
right,
luck.
all right.
Thank
And the
you.
second
Thank you.
one is I had today like many others, I guess, some problems to get in the main game. The website didn't open. I guess y'all already explained the issue.
Yeah, that should be working now, though, right?
Yeah, now it's working out, but
All right.
the
Thanks for
point is
playing.
maybe some people didn't understand or get it. So I would maybe ask if you like to be this friendly to repeat it again. What was the problem?
Well, the problem is I don't know how to use computers at all. Not really. No, there were problems with the server, and they've been improved now. I don't want to go into the technical details because it'll put everybody to sleep,
It's
but
complicated.
should be
Yeah,
fixed
yeah.
now.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, nice, nice. It's not about
Okay,
that
I gotta get
you
going
guys
here with
made mistakes.
K-Bone's on
I
stage.
totally understand that this programming shit or game developing is it needs a hell of time. I got some friends who's doing that, but the main point was just to asking, maybe to relax some people because I think there were a lot of scared paper hands, I guess. Like they sell too cheap for my opinion for this quality of a NFT project. That's why, like to calm people down. I just asked, that's why. So I'm still a fan. It wasn't a problem for me.
Well, thanks. I'm glad. Always great to have. Thank you. Glad you
No
enjoyed the
problem.
game. It's so cool seeing so many people playing so hard. Even with I look at the game, I see all the flaws, and man, I see a lot of flaws. But it's really cool seeing people play. Thank you all.
And that's why I just respect that the work you guys did this fast and went this far because I guess some people just don't understand how complicated and hard it is to do this kind of things without any problems. It needs hella time and it needs hella programming skills, it needs hella focusing skills and time. And that's why I just want, like to speak up about this context so the people understand really that this isn't something we can make or do in few months. This needs years. Some game needs years, and that's why I just wanted to clear this out that this project needs some time to grow to an level which can't be comparable. So that's why I'm glad to be a part now, and thank you guys for doing that this fast and this far. So yeah, keep up the work. Thank you, man.
Thank you. K Bones, how you doing, man?
You guys hear me? Hey.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
K-Bones. I think I owe you a DM, by the way, K-Bones. I think you're on my list to. Sorry, you know how busy I've been.
You're
What's
fine.
up?
I've already gotten mine, so you're fine. I've already gotten the NFT itself. I'm trying to figure out how the game works because I keep losing the battles. Is there anywhere like I can find all the info on the game, like how it's played, the rules, stuff like that?
so we don't have a comprehensive guide. I was actually going to try to record a video one later. There's almost
Hmm.
there's almost no way to like it would be like a really really long guide. It's kind of one of those games you sort of figure out little by little. But my advice to you, like, what level are you right now?
Think I'm level 2, but I still keep losing every battle that I've right. Like every battle that I join and try to duel, I always end up losing. I don't know how to
Well, then
not
try
lose.
fighting some level ones then.
Yeah, you could do that. If you just go into as opposed to the tournament leaderboard, you just go into battles and you'll see level two, but you could like go down to level one and you could fight them. And my advice would just be to like,
Oh my god, I
you
just
know,
lost to a level 1.
okay,
Buy more
maybe
powers. Buy more
yeah,
powers. Maybe you don't have any. Yeah, go to the power screen, buy some powers. Go to the gear
mhm,
screen, make sure you got all your gear equipped. Or if you're only level 2, I think you have a ring
just a
slot
ring.
at level 2.
It's a ring.
Yeah, well, make sure you got a ring. At level 2, yeah, pretty much focus on buying powers, I think.
Yeah, and you probably have enough to buy like
I
I don't know
can't
at
afford
least
it.
four or something. Um,
Yeah,
if you don't
it
have any
says I
powers,
can't afford it. I'm not sure.
Well, do some patrols then. Do
It
some
says I
patrols.
have laser eyes, but I don't know how to upgrade it or
Well, keep clicking. You'll figure it out.
yeah. So to upgrade, you go to the train tab under powers, and then you can also buy more copies of it. If you don't have enough money, go do some patrols and just wait for your job to pay some more money, and you'll be able to get
I
there.
bet.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it gets frustrating when you lose. I get it, but it just makes you want to figure it out. So
All
all
right,
right, should we?
I got some dungeon mastering I got to do. There's a dead manticore. I think we're gonna wrap. I think I'm gonna duck out of here. I think.
Yeah.
But I
So
really just once again, this is just so cool. You know, as has been mentioned, like so much work went into this game, so much work and care went into this game, and it's not fucking perfect. I mean, I got problems with it, but so much work went into this, and it is so unbelievably cool and satisfying to see people playing it. Just play it, and just like people come back and they play it again, and that feeling of like, wow, people came back. Even goddamn last night and this morning when it was just torture to play, I couldn't believe people were playing it, and it's such a cool feeling. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for playing this game. And we're going to be around for a long time. There's the Olympics. There's, you know, we're going to be. I've already got next Halloween planned already. I got plans for Halloween in the. And I look forward to being a part of this community and playing games with you guys, with you people.
yeah, a couple quick announcements too before we go. I don't want to cut you off. I just want to get this out before
Yeah.
people leave.
Sure. Oh, sure,
I'm
sure.
in another Twitter space tomorrow with our partner Crypto Chronics. That's Saturday. Check the time. It's in our events, right over the left there. So I can't promise you how much time we're gonna have to answer questions for me. This is like this is their Twitter space. The focus is on them, and we're going to talk second. And then there's questions, and I want them to have questions too. But if you got something burning, you know, that you really want to like talk to me about tomorrow, I will be around for a little while there. And Exabyte and I will do another one of these ASAP. His kid's birthday is on Sunday, so not then, but maybe Monday. I mean, the game's still new, and we want to maybe do this again before the tournament ends. So you know, this does take a lot of time, and he's a very much a heads down coder. Plus, he runs a staff, so he's going to be busy. But we're gonna get back up here and answer your questions as best we can. If there's stuff we didn't answer, you know, I'm gonna shut off the AMA questions because we want to specialize that channel. But I'm gonna let you still view it. I'm gonna go through and try to answer some of them that didn't get answered. And then our help channels are always open as well. And the mods, please be patient with them because they just got in the game when you did. So they're all learning just like you are. And it hasn't all been very well explained to them as well. So they're just figuring it out at the same time. So they're doing a hell of a job trying to field your questions, but please be patient with them. Exabyte knows the most. I know the second most. And we sometimes get distracted with all kinds of other stuff outside of this forum here. So we'll get your questions answered as best we can, and we see some of you figuring it out and helping others out in the channels, and we really appreciate that. That's the best way for knowledge to spread is among you. So
Yeah, and it's so cool to see you guys do that too. That's a beautiful thing just to see, and it's also the best way to spread knowledge, both, which I guess helps the price. You know, helps us all here if we're helping each other play. The price goes up. I'm not even thinking about that, but I'm just thinking about making the game. But it's so cool seeing the community teach each other how to play.
the price is a 0.1 soul since we started this.
I don't look at
More
it. I
price
don't even look
anyway.
at it personally.
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks to Ballin and the other mods who are here for hanging out with us today. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you.